11 o'clock and 20 degrees. Kind of worried about that, believe me. The weatherman says 21 degrees, and well, he's kind of close to winning right now. I said 26 degrees. My co-host this morning, Barbara, said 25, and we're both scratching our head going, what's happening? We don't want the weatherman to win at all. Tuesday, February the 9th, and I'm absolutely elated to be joined by our new good friend. We're talking about Terry Vuncannon, but first of all, let me do this.
Galaxy 107fm.
Now, coming out of Greensboro, North Carolina, and I am absolutely elated to make the good friendship that I can see going to be flourishing over the years, because I'm a big fan, okay? I am a big fan of Terry Vuncannon, and believe me, let's get into this. Joined here by Christy Jackson, an absolutely fantastic singer in her own right. Wouldn't mind catching up with her in the near future as well as Terry Vuncannon and Carolina Blue. So how are you feeling there, my friend?
Good. Feeling good this week. The wife and I went hiking at a state park over the weekend, and it's just been good weather. It snowed a little bit one Friday or Saturday night this weekend, but it was all gone the next day, so we're fine.
Okay, fair enough too. Now at the same time, wife's name is Janice, have I got that right?
Hi, Steve Baker.
Janice, and she is like my best friend, my wife, and I call her my muse. And you know, most of my music is lap steel oriented, not guitar. I used to play guitar, but I only play lap steel now. And I have a line of lap steels called the V Muse. I'm the V, she's the Muse. And that's what the t-shirt is, the V Muse lap steel. So
I get it.
That's me got my purple shirt.
I get it, and I see the guy on the t-shirt there holding that guitar. I see the guitar in the background, is that right?
Yes, this is one. They're mahogany wood, the subbar pickup. I make them here in Greensboro, North Carolina. Having fun with it.
Nice. Well, I tell you what, we'll go live to air very, very shortly, about 2 minutes now. You may see me make some funny gestures every now and again or something like that. I look like this, yeah, I know. But
You just do your thing, man. Do your thing.
I've got my on-air producer behind me. She gives me stats and all sorts of questions and bits and pieces in my headphones. Besides that, she's my wife, bro, and well, she really is the voice in my head.
Okay. I hear that.
Hey, look, every woman in the world wants her job because she gets paid to be a voice in a man's head.
He's got videos, hasn't he?
Has he got videos? I would presume so.
Yeah, no, just we've got Steve Baker on them.
Okay, got a good friend of ours watching at the moment online, Steve Baker. Now, he's coming out of Nashville, and he promotes videos. Do you have videos of your work?
Yes, I have videos for Shadow of the Machine, Juke Joint, Smoke 'em If You Got 'em, and making one for Carolina Blue, which will not be released, the song and the video, till March. You have the primo copy, preview. Nobody else has that but you so far.
Nice. Well, our good friend, he's with Visual Image Marketing, or Vision Image Marketing, coming out of Nashville. And if you don't mind, I'll get Barbara to introduce you guys, so that you never know, you might want him to promote your movies, your videos, because he's got his fingers everywhere.
Oh, that'd be great. Great. I got a bunch of instrumentals and a bunch with vocals, a lot of different stuff. That'd be great.
Nice. Well, I'll tell you what, let's go live.
Okay, Steve, do that. Okay, Steve.
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM. Absolute pleasure to have you along today. For those of you that are joining us on Facebook Live, got to say thank you. Absolutely thank you. Got to welcome along our visual image marketing team over there in Nashville as well. Nice to have you guys along. Today I'm excited. And believe me, if you're going to watch this a little later on, go to YouTube. Yeah, you know what to do, right? Sub, thumb, bell. Bingo. That way you get notifications. Really you do. Going all the way over to Greensboro, North Carolina, and joined by Terry Vuncannon. Now, I've fast become a very, very big fan of this man's work. I really, really have. But we knew him through Whiskey Foxtrot as well. Back in the day, he's a former member of that. And now he's out there doing it by himself. Let's Steel guitarist. Fantastic. And, of course, we just played Carolina Blue. Joined by Christy Jackson as well. There, what a fantastic voice she has. Now, I've got to be honest with you, Terry, and I welcome you along to the show. Thank you for joining me, and got to say welcome to everybody else that's joining us around the world right now that is absolutely tuning in either on radio and or on the interwebby thing, watching it live on Facebook Live. Terry, when I hear music, you see, there is quite a process here. There really, really is. And Barbara gets between 30 and 50 bands a day that want to do the interviews, want to be promoted, everything like that. And then she goes through production and Barbara sort of work it out. We have to whittle it down because we can only do so many interviews in a week, you know what I mean? Otherwise we'll be here 24 hours a day and just getting nowhere, literally. Then it goes to a board. The board approves the artists and music because they have our image in mind at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Then it comes to me. Now, how it comes to me is rather curious. Barbara hands it to me on a little USB kind of deal that I Bluetooth onto my car stereo. And I tell you why my car is basically for two reasons. First reason is nobody can influence me on whether I want to do the interview. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I give it its merits on the music, and believe me, when I get it, nothing on my stereo lets me know who, what, when or how. It's just pure music. No titles, no song titles, nothing like that, no names, nothing, just the music. Secondly, well, I got to be honest with you, nobody else wants to drive with me. They kind of think going sideways is weird.
I bet so. How far do you drive every day?
Miles, literally, and believe me, I really, really do. It's the one time I can actually get away from the house and then away from the office here at the radio station, you know what I mean? It's, I absolutely look forward to it. That, I got to be honest with you too. We're in between three major cities and we're surrounded by forest right where we are, so I take the country roads, if you know what I mean, and apply a bit of grantism on them. I really do. That's hence why nobody wants to drive with me. They've learnt very, very quickly. We're not going there with him at all. But I hear music in my stereo that I absolutely love. And the first song I heard, and I've got to be honest with you, was Walkin'.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, now we will cover that as we go because we're going to work our way up through it. And it seems at the moment, Terry, that I can't get through a breakfast show without playing a Terry Vuncannon song. I really, really can't.
Thank you. Thank you.
Having said that, I also got to thank you for the stingers, the voiceovers that you sent over the last few days. We've added those to the system. You come up regularly, believe me. And the reason why we do that, my friend, is, well, the more times people hear your voice, hear your name, and or hear your music, the more times people get it in their head. It's like an earworm, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I've always heard people have to hear stuff 5 or 6 times before they have a chance of remembering it. I don't know.
Exactly. So we continuously play people's stingers, voiceovers, stuff like that. And people, you know, I get people all the time saying, gosh, I'm sick of hearing those. And I'm saying, yeah, who? And then they're running down through the list and I says, now, if you didn't listen, you wouldn't know. You know each and every one of them. Absolutely. So it works. You know what I mean? And I'm glad people are sick of hearing them because I'm not going to stop. Literally, I'm going to add to them. People like Terry Vuncannon, for instance. Now, we kicked off the show, Terry, with Carolina Blue. Tell me a little bit about it. How did you come to the lyrics of that? And where does Christy Jackson come into it?
Well, Christy and I have been friends for years. She's a songwriter, singer here in North Carolina, and she has a nonprofit to help area musicians, and I'm actually on the board of directors for that. And so we've got a long history of being friends. I'm friends with her husband, Bobby. Now, Carolina Blue is actually a song my publisher, Ron Hutchins, wrote last year, and I was collecting material for a solo project. And I asked him for that song, and he says, no, I've got plans for it. And then I was in the middle of releasing singles during 2020, and about October, November, he said, are you still interested in that song? And I said, yes, and he finally gave it to me. So my publisher wrote that one, and I asked Christy to sing on it. The bass player on it is T. Michael Coleman, who used to play, have you ever heard of Doc and Merle Watson?
No.
Okay, they're a bluegrass from here in North Carolina. He used to be bass player for Doc and Merle Watson. So I got Benji from the studio, my studio guy at Earth Tone's recording studio, is playing guitar on the end of it, and just got a bunch of friends together, had Christy sing it, Ron plays keyboards, T. Michael on bass, Benji on guitar, and we just had fun making it.
Absolutely fantastic. Now, I want to give a shout out to your good wife, Janice, as well. Now, not only your partner in life, but she's also a co-writer in what you do.
She, in her younger days, wrote poetry and short stories and stuff. And, of course, I've always been into music, and so it was some years ago, I said, let's write some music together. And she said, well, I don't know music, but I said, yeah, but I do. So Walkin', the song you like, we actually did that song together for a project called the Healing Blues here in Greensboro, North Carolina, to raise money for homeless people. It was sponsored by one of the local colleges, and they wanted 10 or 12 different songwriters to interview homeless people, and they supplied us with a client, each one, and we interviewed our client, then went away, and Walking, I'm Walking is what came out of that co-write.
Well, I'm going to let you know now, 1,702 requests so far since we've been playing it. Not bad.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's not bad at all, and believe me, keep requesting it. Yes, Terry Vuncannon, Walking, believe me. And you'll be able to hear it tonight on the Blues Show, believe me. Terry's in there a number of times, actually. He really, really is. We've even got one in the reggae that we're going to talk about very, very shortly as well. But first of all, Barbara said to me earlier on today, because I was playing one of your songs, she said, does Terry like fishing? I said, I don't know. I can't actually answer that, so I will ask. Terry, do you like fishing?
Well, it's understood in this family, my wife is the fisher. She's the good fisher person. She can really fish. And that's what led to our other song you played before, Hook, Line, and Sinker. That's a co-write with me and her.
Now, that strange you should say that, because that is exactly what I was getting to. In fact, that's my segue out the window. You blew that one out. But believe me, tell me all about Hook, Line, and Sinker. How did you come to the lyrics, you and Janice, and the meanings behind it?
Well, that's a song that was not going to be Hook, Line, and Sinker to start with. There was a friend of hers that was fishing on, we've got a house at Oak Island here in North Carolina, on the inlet we have up here, and one of her friends was fishing and had lost his bait, rebaited, lost his bait, got frustrated, because you drink a little, you fish a little, you drink a little, you fish a little. And he finally looked up in frustration and said, Bill Dance can kiss my ass. And I don't know if you know who Bill Dance is. He's a huge TV star here that had a fishing show for decades. So and when he said Bill Dance can kiss my ass, Janice thought that was hilarious. So we tried to write a song to include that and couldn't come up with any line that would fit it in comfortably. So I finally just said, well, we'll use the oldest songwriting trick in the book. We'll put it in a stop, where everything stops and you say the line and it fits. And so that backed up from there into what became Hook, Line, and Sinker.
Well, I got to be honest with you, my bird. People are absolutely loving this track. They really, really are. And we have played it a number of times. I promote it like crazy, and believe me, I've been promoting Terry Vuncannon simply because I like it. I really, really do. This is actually something for me, I've got to be honest with you, Terry, because it's not often that I find a band that I get really, really excited about, an artist, a music, a style that I absolutely love. And this all comes in a combination. It's all copacetic. It really, really is. Here at Galaxy is Terry Vuncannon live with Hook, Line, and Sinker. How we doing there, bro? We okay?
Yes. Now that's a funny song. That's from way back when I played guitar still.
Okay.
I never play guitar now. I only play lap steel. But hearing that's kind of neat because I still remember how to play, but I just don't play it anymore.
Believe me, it's been a long time since I've picked up a guitar. It really has been. In fact, what, about 5 years ago?
Yeah, it would be.
7 years ago, something? No, it wouldn't be that long. It'd be
No,
about 5
it's-
years ago.
I wasn't here 7.
Yeah, the last office that we had.
5.
The last
at least,
station,
something
yeah.
like that.
Everybody got sick of me playing, so I got rid of my guitars.
Now you've actually mixed sound before.
Oh yeah, I'm an engineer.
House.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
I've been a recording studio engineer for about 37 years and a front of house engineer for about 35.
See, that I really like that because through my career I've had to learn not only to be a guitar player, but how to set up, do PA work. I got in later. I run a booking agency for like 22 years and did festivals, the 100-Foot Snake, front of house mix, all that.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been lucky. I quit college at 19 to play music. And here I am decades later, and I've managed to stay with music, but it's changed every decade.
As it does, yes it does.
When I was in the 70s and 80s, you could play 6 nights a week and tour the U.S. And now the Monday through Thursday night jobs and gigs are just not around like they used to be.
No, believe me, I fully understand, I really do. But I've got to be honest with you, bro. I've actually been lucky enough to work with some of the biggest bands in the world and have toured the world with some of the biggest bands in the world.
One of them with a bunch of initials.
2 of them are actually Australian. They can't get past 4 letters. One of them has a lightning bolt in between 2 letters.
Yeah, I just watched the documentary on them the other night.
Oh, okay. Well, the former drummer, Phil Rudd, which is now the official drummer again, lives about an hour and a half away from us up here in Tauranga.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He's got a restaurant.
Yeah, he's got a restaurant. Phil's place.
Yeah. Yummy food too.
It
So
is
if you ever come to
great
New
food,
Zealand,
it is.
Go to Phil's place.
Tell you what, Terry, once we get past all this COVID and everything that's going on right now, would you be interested in coming to New Zealand and playing in front of New Zealand audiences?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Janice has already said we're there. We're done.
Nice. I like Janice's
Yeah.
way to go.
Good on you,
I
Janice.
love that. Yeah, absolutely. Because we would love to have you, bro, and have you tour the country. We'd love to be able to show you around a few places. Got to let you know, though, we're a bit crazy.
He's heard
I've
that.
been keeping up with that. I've seen some crazy, and as long as you don't expect me to squeeze the head of a giant grasshopper, we won't get along.
Yeah, there you go.
Wouldn't dare attack a grasshopper. Maybe a hoo-hoo grub, but not a grasshopper. Gosh, picking on a grass. Wouldn't do that, bro. That's sacrilege. Gosh, dear.
He got you one.
He did got me one.
Yeah, good on you, Terry.
Hey, Terry, you do realise that Moses was the first internet user in the world, eh?
How's that?
Well, he had to go up on top of a big mountain to get a good reception to download from the cloud onto his tablet.
Oh, God. That's a good one. That's a good one. I'll share with you one. You know, my secret guaranteed way to make $1 million in music.
Uh-huh.
Start with $2 million.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Same with radio. It is. It's the same with radio. It really is. I want to talk about this radio station that you went on prior to coming on here. When we get back on air, we've got about 50 seconds to go, so I'm going to talk about that.
We will.
They tuned in.
Only because, absolutely fascinated in other radio stations, like promoting other radio stations. And
We'll talk about them.
Nice. And the next one up, by the way, is Juke Joint.
Cool.
Okay?
Galaxy.
I was just thinking, the last blues man that I spoke to must have been Lightning Rod.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yep, back in the day. Yeah, that was what, last year?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're overdue about a good blues. And, well, that's why I'm absolutely fascinated in Terry Vuncannon. And Terry, I really, really am fascinated about doing interviews with people, talking and getting to know about them, their music, how their style of writing is, and the music that they produce. But at the same time, I don't mind talking about a particular radio station or two. Did you have to go to another radio station just to settle the nerves before you come to me?
Well, actually, that was, you're talking about WTOB in Winston-Salem. They heard about my interview coming up with you guys. And they said, when is it? And I said, it's on Monday the 8th here. And they said, well, we got to get you on the 1st to promote that for the area listeners. And I said, well, that's so nice of you. And they said, that's what we're here for. We want to help local musicians. And it was the doctor's checkup show with the Big Kahuna and Dr. John. And they played several of my cuts through the last 6 to 8 months or more. And they do the thing like you do. They go out on FM, AM, and do an internet broadcast too. They might not reach as many people as you, but they're on track and they're doing great things for area musicians.
Well, anybody that's supporting local musicians, indie music, I absolutely love. I do. So WTOB or WTOB, congratulations. Absolutely, you're on the ball with Terry Vuncannon. You really, really are. And believe me, guys, keep up the good work. Literally, keep it up. And without people like Terry Vuncannon, I've got to be honest with you, Terry, without people like you, I wouldn't have a job. I really want you to keep on doing what you're doing. But will you come back again with new music in the future?
Anytime. I've already got about 4 or 5 songs in the work for 2021. And anytime you want me to come in, just say the word, have Barbara send me a message, whatever you want to do.
Absolutely brilliant, my friend, because believe me, I absolutely love your work. I really, really do. Fascinated with Jean's writing as well, if you know what I mean. So really, really, absolutely, sorry, Janice, not Jean. Janice is writing as well, and I think we got a future here. You know what I mean? So if you keep sending me music, we keep booking you in, we will be able to keep rolling here at Galaxy and keeping your name going out to the masses around the world. And maybe, just maybe, you know, we might have rattled a cage or two with radio around your area, that they will continue to keep playing your music, and we would love that. WTAB, keep playing Terry, please, just for us, okay?
I also want to give a shout out to Chris Ruack on
He's
WQFS, college
He's
radio
online.
here.
He's online.
She's played every song I've had out over the last year.
Well, I got to let
She's
you know, Terry,
gorgeous.
she's online right now. She's following.
Facebook.
Ah, hello, Chris.
There you go.
But, she has a show called The North Carolina Show that plays only North Carolina artists. It's great.
Brilliant, absolutely stunning, and absolutely fantastic to have these people following us this morning. Now, at the same time, I got to let you know, we're talking about getting you here in New Zealand. I want to cover that very, very quickly, but first of all, I got a fan question for you, Terry. As a fan, how do we get in touch with you? Are you on Facebook? Are you on Twitter? Are you on Instagram? But more importantly, Terry, do you respond?
Yes, I try to. I try to stay very active. You can do anything from Google my name, Terry Vuncannon, to come to Facebook, to go to YouTube. I show up on YouTube under Terry Vuncannon, and the YouTube name Keith Riff, Keefriff. I'm a huge Keith Richards fan. And then I'm on Instagram under VMuse Lap Steels. And so really just Google Terry Vuncannon, VUNCANNON, and I'm out there.
Absolutely brilliant. Now, do you have a website as well?
I put most of my website energy into the VMuse Lap Steels
Okay.
that I make.
Okay, I can't buy merch off your lap stool though.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
We need to buy merch, and we need to be able to get our audio audience a way of being able to acquire merch from you, because believe me, you know, you might actually sell a koozie and a t-shirt.
Well, my songs are on sale on Amazon, all that, under Terry Vuncannon there again.
Nice.
And there is some stuff out there under Lawyers, Guns, and Money, the band I had for 10 years that did walk in and hook, line, and sinker. So.
Yeah, well, I was actually looking at Lawyers, Guns and Money, and I was going to ask you about that. It sounds like you've had a lot of experience in each one of those.
Yes, you got to keep a good banker and a good lawyer and a couple of guns laying around in the music business.
Well, here's something for you that was on the news this morning in social media, and I think it's absolutely ridiculous, I really, really do, is that a guy was killed dead, literally, he was shot dead for playing a prank on a stranger by burglarizing his house.
What did he do, break in and leave a banjo?
I think he broke in for sure, but I don't think he got the chance to be able to produce the banjo. The guy self-defensed himself and wiped him out. Apparently it was a prank. You never break into some stranger's house. End of story. It's like buying a vaccine online. Don't do it. Okay? Well, you'd be surprised how many people are out there that are buying vaccines online right now, finding out that it's only saline solution. It's true. It's true. But having said that, you know, it is a surreal time right now, Terry. How's the COVID thing affecting you over there? You guys staying okay?
Well, we are. We're trying to mask up and be careful about groups of people around each other. My wife's mother is still alive, and she's 83, so we constantly worry about her. And so we're just trying to be careful. All of the shows shut down in March of last year, March and April. And it's really, it's been tough on the music scene.
Yes, believe me, I fully understand. I really, really do. And believe me, Terry, I talk to a lot of artists. Everybody's saying the same thing, you know, no shows. We're writing, we're recording, we're making new videos. We want to get back to work. And believe me, I want to be able to do shows as well, including getting you here down under to the Antipodes here in New Zealand, playing in front of New Zealand audiences. And we very, very briefly touched on it, but you kind of said to me nothing to do with locusts, grasshoppers, stuff like that. But have you ever heard of a hoo-hoo grub?
Only from you.
So you know the deal here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, every artist that we bring into the country, and it is a tradition with, not only with Galaxy but with Aurora Entertainment, that we introduce our international artists to the hoo-hoo grub, which basically, and I've got to be honest with you, and Terry, I'll send you the video, that you put the live body in your mouth, you rip off the head, don't eat the head, it's yucky. Alcohol probably before, during and after, got to be honest, but when you crunch down on this, it's like eating creamy peanut butter.
Wow.
It really is.
Wow.
I'm not joking, and believe me, the indigenous folks of New Zealand, the Maori, still today have it as a delicacy.
That's wild. Now, my wife would be all over that in a heartbeat. She loves new styles of food.
Okay.
Everything.
Okay. Well, I tell you what. When you're here, we'll take you to a place not too far away, Rotorua, which is a traditional Maori tourist city. I've got to be honest with you. A place called Hell's Gate. Now, we'll teach you how to be able to cook with thermal, natural environment. It's like you go to. You're familiar with Yellowstone National Park?
Yes.
Yeah, the geysers and all that sort of stuff. Bingo. We've got that about maybe an hour's drive from here, 45 minutes an hour from here. You'll be able to go there. We'll show you around there. While we've got you in Rotorua, though, have you ever heard of Azul?
No. No, you got me there.
Okay, well, believe me, alcohol involved for both you and for Janice as well, because we'll put you both in two separate big, round, see-through balls and roll you guys down a hill.
Oh my gosh.
Now,
Okay.
we used to do this as kids in rain barrels. Remember that? Or in tyres, get on top of a hill, roll down. Well, this is taking it to a whole new level. Now, the reason why the big clear plastic ones, bit of water in there, so it doesn't matter if you have a slip or slide or something else. Preferably not something else, but you know, if we've got a hose, we can clean it out. Don't worry, plenty of alcohol to come afterwards. But we'll put some runners in front of you as well. Now, the reason why alcohol, it's priceless when you run over their faces. It really is. It's
And when you do video and film of this as they're going down the hill?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We'll even give you a camera to take in there with you, you know, waterproof something, you know, just to see what it's like for you on the inside. But having said that, don't worry about togs. I've got a mankini for you.
What is that?
A mankini? Well, it's, you know what a G-string is, besides being on your guitar?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, well, this is one for men that goes up over your shoulders.
Oh, gosh. You are wild over there.
Well, I tell you what, we had fun trying to find a place to put our logo.
I bet so.
Yeah, we found one. Yep, we found one. Now, it can come in any colour you like as long as it's fluoro.
Like green?
Yeah,
Like green?
bright yellow, pink, orange. Yeah,
Right.
The reason for that is so that the camera can pick you up as you go A over T inside this ball. And how much material, you see, we'll give you the camera to take inside so that we can get an idea of how much material you've swallowed.
Man, wow.
Sorry, the staff here are just absolutely wetting themselves right now. Yeah, they're going, Grant, I didn't believe you would go there with Terry. Yes, I did. Literally. Now, at the same time, you do realise that New Zealand is made up of 3 islands, right?
I've been studying it on the map, and I was picking at someone the other day that you're the land down under, the land down under.
completely down under, and our closest allies, association, cousins across the ditch, being the Australians, who, we love to have a bit of, banter about, and, we pick on each other all the time. It's not our fault they're Australian. We can't help that, but, it's nice to have them along. We'd love to have them back here in New Zealand again. We like their money.
Oh, yeah, I bet, yeah, I can see that.
Kind of touristy places at the moment, not doing too well, but believe me, they've had it well for many, many years. A little dip in the economy every now and again. Well, leaves room for breeze, and, we can rebuild again, don't you think?
Yes. Now, are y'all locked in where they can't come to you and you can't go to Australia, or?
Pretty much at the moment, yeah.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with the Spice Girls?
Yes.
Okay, well, I was talking to an Australian lady the other day, and she says, Grant, we're much like the Spice Girls. And I went, how do you figure that? She goes, well, we're all doing fine, except Victoria. It's a state in Australia. It is. But right now, it seems like it's jumping from state to state, actually. It started in Melbourne, went to Sydney, Brisbane.
Yeah, I think it was Melbourne first.
Yeah, I think it was Melbourne first. Now it's in Victoria and Perth.
Yeah.
It's sort of working its way around, you know what I mean? Where literally they should have done what we did right from the start and just went full country lockdown.
Yeah. It's going to be a while longer, I'm afraid, and it just absolutely kills me.
Yeah, well, countries too busy to think about economy over lives, where here in New Zealand, besides that, we've got a big moat. You know what I mean? We've got a moat around us, so we're not doing too. What are you doing, Barbara? Panic time. Turn it off, turn it off, turn it off. I'm getting that in my headphones. Believe me, that was fun. I didn't realise you did that. But here in New Zealand, we are made up of 3 islands. Right down the very, very bottom is a place called Stewart Island. And to be honest with you, that's where I had pegged to be able to put a few camper vans, and everybody that's coming into New Zealand, there's your managed isolation on there. Barbara reckons that I'm a communist if I did that.
No,
you know what I mean? Rather than these luxury motels, 5-star motels, and everybody's complaining that it's a prison camp. Believe me, I will do a month in there if you pay me. Believe me, and tell you it's no prison camp. It is absolutely luxurious. My solution is you got a camper van, you're on Stewart Island, and we'll fly in some food every now and again for you. There. Believe me. But we've done okay. We've got absolutely no virus, no contagion at all in the community. And I think over the weekend we had about 2 or 3 coming in on the border side of it. You know what I mean?
That's pretty good numbers.
Well, right from the start, almost a year ago, we closed down for 2 months. Level 4, complete lockdown. Nobody go nowhere, no how, no time, unless you're an essential worker like a police officer, a doctor working in the medical profession, you know what I mean? Other than that, you stay home and do whatever you can. You could go to the supermarket. That was about it, if I remember right. And then you had to do the social distancing, which had people for miles lining up to get into the supermarket. But other than that, and people without question really donned their masks, if you know what I mean. So, here in New Zealand we're pretty responsible. Having said that though, the other day in Auckland, a guy went in and robbed an Auckland bank that the police couldn't recognise because he wasn't wearing a mask.
Oh, God. Yeah, I've heard a version of that. That's good. That's good. And which we keep our masks close in case somebody comes to the door or something. I'll put a mask on even then.
Believe me, we do here too as well. And at the same time, and for those guys that are watching right now, you may have seen earlier on that I was wearing a mask and wishing Marcy from Rosewood Studios a very, very happy birthday. I'm not going to give you her age, I'm really not, because I respect Marcy, but I really, really got to thank you so much. This is her getting her birthday greeting from me earlier on this morning. And we love Marcy, we really do. Coming out of Rosewood Studios, British Columbia. Happy birthday, Marcy. And it's, you know, with pride that I wear your t-shirt and your brand. I don't wear brands often. I like to promote bands and artists and stuff like that. What am I being hinted? Terry, I'm going to show you this. That is a mankini that I'm showing you on here. This,
Oh my God.
It's modelled by a guy in Florida.
yeah, it's modelled by a guy in Florida. I want to get in touch with that guy and say he's missing the logo. Yes. Did you?
That was at the Super Bowl, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Did you follow the Super Bowl?
I don't follow NFL that much. I did go on afterwards and check out the halftime show with the Weekend guy, because I wasn't familiar with that artist. And I've kind of laughed at some of the comments of the Tom Brady haters
Hey, Tom
around USA.
Brady and the team, they did a fantastic job. They really, really did. And feel sorry for the Chiefs, but, you know, I think the defence spoke for itself in the game. I really, really do. So
Yeah.
Take
From what
nothing.
I've read about it, the defense was good. Tom did good, and you can't argue with a man that's been to a championship level 10 times.
He's
It's got
got
to speak for itself.
he's got a few rings now, doesn't he?
Yeah, 7 I think is now.
Something
7.
like that, yeah, absolutely. He's very, very experienced. He really, really is. So congratulations to the Buccaneers over the Chiefs. Good game. Really was a good game. Yes, I was watching. I was. But having said that, at the same time, after you go to the game, where you go? Down the juke joint, right? Absolutely you do. Terry Vuncannon, tell me all about the juke joint.
Well, Juke Joint is a song that come about in 2 parts. A friend of mine was writing a book about 3 years before the song had a life. She was writing a book on drink houses, bootleg establishments, and juke joints. That were a series of things from Georgia up through North Carolina, down through South Carolina, here on the East Coast, and a lot of black blues bands traveled and played the juke joints. And because I've played music all my life, Emily interviewed me for that book. And of course, if you've ever watched somebody publishing a book, it's 2, 3, 4 year process. And so during the 2 years, I forgot she'd interviewed me. She contacted me and said, my book's coming out in the next 6 months. And I got thinking about it and had been researching juke joints and bootleg establishments and things like that. And I just started throwing around words and everything and song progression. And I wrote the juke joint song. And that's what it's about. Bootleg, drink houses, juke joints of the South and Southeast that people from B.B. King to Howlin' Wolf to Jimi Hendrix played at.
You know,
It's purely to tell the history of juke joints and drink houses.
Terry, I'm going to let you know that I have actually been up around through where you are and have taken in some of the ambience of what you're talking about. And believe me, some of the places haven't changed since the 20s. They really, really haven't. There's some really fantastic historical musical venues that just ebb. People like, of course, B.B. King, for instance, and other artists. Love, love, love it. So right here at Galaxy with pride, talking to Terry Vuncannon here at Galaxy is Juke Joint. I used to live in a place called Newport,
Okay.
just out of Nashville, and I was actually invited to Nashville to go and see the Grand Ole Opry, and of course, if you remember, that's radio based. So
Yes.
I got my
I bet
$50.
you've been to Memphis on Beale Street too then.
I have.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. But I've also been associated with these fellas that go up into the Appalachian Mountains and come back in the daytime with these jars of see-through material, well, liquid that you can run a car on.
Yes. That's still around.
Okay, well, yes, believe me, I know it is, because a good friend of mine that comes out of North Carolina, her name is Michelle Lee, she's a 10-time Josie Award winner, sent me a hip flask, you know,
Isn't that nice?
2 shots. This is her shot glass as well. 2 shots in here.
And I put him on the floor.
Both times.
Yes.
I had to have 2 shots at it. Literally, I celebrated her 10th Josie Award from Dollywood.
Okay.
And she says to me, Grant, I hope it's been in the freezer, keeping it cool. And I went, no, it's been on the shelf here behind me. She goes, oh. And I poured this shot, and she goes, well, just sip it. And I said to her, and this is honest, Terry, I said to her, I'm a Kiwi. I don't sip.
Shoot it right down.
I threw it back. Well, I got to be honest, I got tore up from the floor up.
Oh yeah,
Surely
you can't
did.
judge that stuff. Some of it is 50% high octane, and some of it's 75%.
Oh.
Don't forget that.
This was higher than that, apparently. It really was. But I tell you what, the rest of the staff loved it because apparently I radiated. I went so red that they could feel that they were going around going 2, 4, 6, 8. Hope we don't radiate. Literally.
Have you ever set it on fire?
No, I haven't.
You can take and pour a little in a spoon and light a match to it.
Yep.
And some of the people that deal with it can judge the potency by the color of the flame.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, I'd
interesting.
get that.
Yeah,
I'd get that.
Interesting.
Having said that, though, I do have a few friends that are in television that make this stuff on television.
There's been some reality shows over here about bootleggers.
Yeah, one of them's called Moonshiners.
Yes, yes.
And I've got a few of these people are actually friends of mine on there.
Do they send you product?
Not
No,
yet.
they want the money for it. Come on, they come from that region. They only do it for money. Come on,
Josh Owens and Jodie Medford.
Jodie Medford. Yep, absolutely. But this young lady, she sent me some product. Second
I
time,
love that flask. I love that.
it's a stunning flask. It really, really is. Let's go back to the desk because up next we have Smoke 'em If You Got 'em. And
I don't know
not
what
only
that
do
would-
we play it here at
I
Galaxy,
wonder
but
what that means.
well, I'm going to find out.
Smoking.
22 seconds. Let's go back. That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and I'm joined live coming out of Greensboro, North Carolina by Terry Vuncannon. Absolutely fantastic. And Terry, I should have warned you, this will be like no other interview you've ever done before, so I'm sure we'll be able to get through this. But at the same time, do you smoke?
Yes,
You do. What do you smoke?
yes.
Right. Well, I can answer that one too. In both categories there, I've got to be honest with you. And it's always nice to be able to have a smoke if you got 'em. How did you come to smoke 'em if you got 'em?
Well, that was a bit of a stretch for me. I've always been a fan of reggae music, and I went to Jamaica for the first time in the 80s, and just fell in love with the country and the vibe and everything. And when I was writing songs for my solo bucket list in 2020, one of the things I thought I wanted to do was a reggae song, but I only wanted to do it if I could find the real thing for a singer, someone from Jamaica. And Benji at Earth Tone Studios had worked with Ramu probably 4 or 5 years earlier on some recordings. And he said, I know your guy, I'll have him get in contact with you. And when we talked, I just fell in love with him. Such a positive energy and attitude. And we went over the message of the song and the lyrics, and he agreed to do it. And he came in, and we had a big time that day. And it just come out that it was my reggae song.
Well,
And,
I got to let you know, my friend, 1,289 requests since we've been playing it. This is making a chord, literally an accord with our audio audience. And of course, we've added it into the reggae show as well, which plays on a Wednesday night. And couldn't be happier. So right here, live, with Terry Vuncannon, the man himself, coming out of Greensboro, North Carolina. Something different. Smoke 'em if you got 'em. Yeah, as soon as the staff heard this, Barbara says to me this morning, does he smoke? I went, probably. Yeah, probably.
Well, it's and you know the theme of that phrase, "smoke 'em if you got 'em," actually goes back to, I think, this World War II in the military.
Mm-hmm.
They used to always say, "smoke 'em," you know, when there was a delay or a problem with moving troops and stuff. And then I understand that the Europeans were in the middle of this huge debate about class and those that have and versus those that have not. And the "smoke 'em" term that the military used became "smoke 'em" and a little bit of protest if you got 'em.
Right.
And then it became, over time, "smoke 'em if you got 'em." As you know, we're going through troubled times. There's going to be a delay. Hold up, folks. And so that was kind of like after 2020. I wrote it during the end of 2020, and we'd been through some hard times and some delays. And that's why I wanted to make the double meaning of "smoke 'em if you got 'em." It's a beautiful day. Smoke 'em if you got 'em. It'll be okay.
Nice. Well,
And the positive of that is what Ramu liked about the lyrics of the song, which I think is maybe why we got along so good.
well, I tell you what, when I was in the Air Force, we used to get the term "smoke 'em if you got 'em." Once we've come off the parade ground, we're taking a break. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Before we go back onto parade again. God, I hate a parade. I did, you know, especially first thing in the morning,
everyone.
reveille, out on parade, and then you're doing it all day. But I actually ended up a warrant officer in the Air Force, if you know what I mean. So
Uh-huh.
I didn't do too bad, and then when I left, I got the opportunity of going into radio. So I'm happy as hell, actually. I first started radio I actually first started music when I was about 5 years of age.
Wow.
True.
I started at 10.
Okay.
I asked my mom for a guitar when I was 9 years old. That's what she got for my 10th birthday.
Well, where I was, we used to have this big old valve radio. I think it was indicative of the era of those days, the old walnut shell thing, if you know what I mean.
No, it doesn't.
And Dad said to me, said to Mum one day, I want to get a new stereo. We got these newfangled stereos out there, and I want to get one. And Mum says, but we've got a stereo. And he goes, no, that's not a stereo. That's a piece of furniture that takes up half the room. So Dad goes out and buys this brand spanking new stereo. And I said to Mum one day, I want a new stereo. And she goes, why do you want a new stereo? I says, because I want something in my bedroom that I can listen to at night on, and we were talking 45s, 33s back in the day, even 78s.
Gosh, you're old.
You know what I mean? So Mum went out and bought me this little stereo, and I kind of figured out that if you put one next to the other, and then you change the speakers over, one speaker of each in each system, and play one song after the other, you can entertain the family. And that's where it started.
So you were one of the first mobile DJs ever.
I was a legend in my lounge back in the day. I really was. Then I ended up actually being a DJ at high school, and it sort of moved from there. And it was all because I went to see the Queen. My parents took me to see the Queen. Well, they dumped me off with a whole heap of other kids who were dancing to this guy on a mobile disco on the back of a truck. Well, they buggered off and got drunk and stuff, and I'm boogie away, 5 years of age, and I got the idea, and I went, okay, I want a stereo. Yeah, that's actually true too. I did go to see the Queen. Yeah, we'll move on from that actually, because when a kid, suddenly realises, hey, hold on, I'm amongst a whole heap of strangers. I don't know where's my mum and dad. Well, it can be quite traumatic, not only for the kid, but maybe for everybody around the kid as well. Believe me. But my parents were actually invited up to meet the Queen at the time. She was still a princess at the time, though.
Oh, okay.
The Queen Mother
That
was...
was going to be my next question. Is the same Queen we have, that they have now?
Yes, it is the same Queen, but believe me, she was only a princess back in those days. The one thing I do remember very, very vividly about that, I've got to be honest with you, Terry, is the amount of guys in grey suits with umbrellas. I called it the umbrella army. They were everywhere, and then you got this lady in a white dress smack in the middle of them. You know what I mean? So, yeah, but that's, from a child's version, because, believe me, I was only a child and could look up and could only just see through legs and bodies and everything. There was actually a female in there wearing a white dress. But my parents got invited up to the private boxes later on to be able to go and have a drink and meet the then said princess that is now our Queen.
Wow.
And
I'm going to write a book.
we always, for years, we took bets on the Queen Mother. When's she going to tip it off? You know what I mean? She hung in there forever, didn't she?
Yeah, just like Queenie will.
Yeah, she did. And I think the Queen will, actually. I really do. I agree with you, Barbara. I think she's still got a couple of, I don't know, millennia to go yet.
Yep.
Yeah, I
Clean
do.
living.
Yeah, okay. Loves corgis too, by the way.
Yeah.
That's why Prince Philip's still around.
Yep.
He'll get that one later down the track.
Yep.
He will. He still drives,
No, he's not allowed to anymore.
isn't he?
No.
Did they take the road off
When
him?
he had that accident.
He did say, I own the road.
Yeah, but no.
He ran over somebody.
Yeah.
And
Speaking of driving, my wife asked me, do y'all drive on the left or the right over there?
okay, well, that's easy. We're on the left side of the road.
Opposite.
You,
Okay.
you guys are on the right. We're on the opposite side.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you come here, we'll put you behind the wheel straight away.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we'll throw you down the motorway and see if you can figure it out.
Well, we'll figure it out quick, I hope.
Yeah, well, if you see a grill and headlights coming towards you, you're going the wrong way. Might be safer walking. That's a good
Segue.
That's a good segue.
Yeah.
It's a hell of a good segue. Now, I got to be honest with you, Terry. Not only is this my favourite song, it was the first song I heard of yours. It is the highest requested song for Terry Vuncannon here. We get it every day in the breakfast show. We get hounded. We have to play it. Why and what is the success behind Walking, Terry? Tell me all about it.
Well, that's the one that we interviewed the homeless person and wrote about his that he walked everywhere he went. So we interviewed Shannon was our person, and that's kind of like his story. I'm walking.
Well, I tell you what, 1,735, it's gone up. It was 1,702, but apparently it's gone up to 1,735 requests since we've been playing this. Believe me, it is taking our audio audience by storm. And folks, go out, check out Terry Vuncannon. You can't go wrong. Go and source his music, iTunes, Spotify, every platform you can. Go and get it, because Walkin' is the big hit here at Galaxy's the next legend. And believe me, I think it's well justified. Here is Terry Vuncannon. Terry, we'll give you a copy of everything we do today. We'll transpose the video that we're doing on Facebook Live over to YouTube. We'll give you a copy of that. Barbara will make a movie. We'll take some photos afterwards, some crazy photos. You'll be able to put them on your phone and show your friends.
Crazy.
Kiwis, not healthy, don't do it. You know what I mean?
Now, how many's logged in today? Are we doing good?
Well, I'll let you know, we have 5,168,000 online.
All right.
That's not bad.
That's humbling.
And that's about average for us now.
Mm-hmm.
But believe me, it is an absolute honour to be able to bring your music to that platform of audience. You know what I mean?
Well, I appreciate it so much. It's a huge opportunity, and that's all any music artist wants, is for people to hear their music, and it's always so hard.
Well, you've found a fan in me, and I would love for you to come back again and do more interviews, release more music,
and Terry
and promote
here,
you as much
Terry
as possible.
Robbins.
Sorry?
Terry Robbins, she says, and me too.
Terry Robbins?
Yeah.
Thank you for watching, Terry. Thank you for taking part, and believe me.
Terry is a friend in Raleigh, North Carolina, and she used to be president of the Triangle Blues Society, and she makes the most beautiful ever stained glass art.
Oh,
She has a piece of art on display at the Blues Hall of Fame in Memphis.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, it's nice to have you. Nice to have you with us, Terry. And thank you for being a part of it. I really do appreciate it. I really do. Terry, the more we can play your music, the more we get to say your name, the more people get to know who and what you are. You know what I mean? And we'll be very, very happy to be able to do so. Now, I'm just going to say to you, do you have any CDs that we could possibly do a giveaway with? Again, it's all about the promotions of Terry Vuncannon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. I have some singles and also some Lawyers, Guns, and Money from a decade ago that I still have. And I'll box up a care package and send to you, and y'all can give them away ever how you want to.
Nice, nice. Because, believe me, Terry, as I say, it's about the promotion. It's about keeping you rolling on Galaxy, keeping people listening to you and getting to know who you are and your name and everything like that. Have you been to our Galaxy Artist page yet? Have you had a look through that?
Yes, and I've watched some of the different listings you have for the other artists, and I've seen Canada and America, England. I mean, you guys are everywhere.
We are. We really, really are, including Norway, Germany. Believe me, we are in India, Australia, Scotland, Ireland. Yes, we're everywhere. We really, really are. And the thing is, I have friends there, and I would like to be able to introduce you to a few friends over there that might be able to do a few things that I don't do. For instance, one is in Germany. He has his own TV kind of deal, hasn't he?
Yep.
He's watched pretty much around the world. His name is York. I have friends who have magazines. I'd like to be able to introduce you to these people as well. and get you in the magazines, get you promoted as much as possible. Is that okay with you? Can I get Barbara to introduce you to these people?
Yes.
And John
I've got
Forster's online.
material you haven't even heard that my publisher, Ron Hutchins, who I mentioned earlier, we did a whole single album of instrumental stuff, keyboards, guitar, lap steel. Then the Lawyers, Guns and Money stuff, and now my solo stuff. Any of it, I would love to work with it. I mean, you know, it's an artist's dream.
Awesome.
Although we like to have vocalists, don't we?
Yeah,
Lyrics.
yeah, lyrics and everything
yeah.
like that, but still. Having said that, Terry, once we've finished with this, don't go anywhere, because we do a couple of things afterwards, including make a little video that we put on our website.
Sure.
Reason being, now I'm sure you can understand with the 5+ amount of people that we have, they don't just come and live stream us, you know what I mean? They get nosy and have a look through our page. Sometimes, Terry, I feel very oogled. You know what I mean?
Good.
they go and look through all the pages. So, on the homepage, right smack on the homepage, we put the videos there where people can see them straight away. Before you know it, you've got another 5,000 Facebook fans, and I apologise now.
And believe me, I'll share the stuff, because you've made me very happy doing this, and I really appreciate it.
No worries, Terry. It's an absolute pleasure. Let's go back to the desk. That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and I'm talking live with Terry Vuncannon coming out of Greensboro, North Carolina. And it's an absolute pleasure to be able to bring Terry's music to the rest of the world, and we want him to come back again. Now, we've asked him, he said yes, he's going to release new music. Down the track, we're going to be family, and I've got to welcome you to the Galaxy family, Terry. It's an absolute pleasure to have you with us. It really, really is. Including everybody that's tuned in today, your good friends, people that we know, everything like that. We are so, so happy to be able to bring absolute stunning blues music to our audience. And I am a big fan. I love walking. You can understand why. You can. Just listening to it, you know why. As an engineer, and as a front of house engineer, and as a DJ, that is fantastic. So go out, check out, and go and get yourself a copy of Terry Vuncannon's music. Now, Terry's going to send us a few CDs that we could do a giveaway or something down the track with. Believe me, watch this space. It's going to be an absolute pleasure to do that as well. Terry, don't go anywhere just yet. We've got a couple of things that we do after this, but thank you so much for coming along and taking part in an interview with us here at Galaxy in New Zealand.
Well, and thank you so much. And also, I wanted to mention I had a little thing I dug up on you. It was something I wanted to ask you about, and it was about a golf cart at the bottom of a lake somewhere. And were you banned for 20 years?
Yes, who have you been talking to?
I've done my research, man. I've done my research.
That is absolutely hilarious. Yeah, you're familiar with Lord of the Rings, right?
Yes.
Okay, well, I've got to let you know, when I went to university, Peter Jackson, the guy who directed the Lord of the Rings series, of course, from the books J.R. Tolkien wrote, well, about an hour and a half away from where we are right now is actually Middle Earth. And we'll take you there, show you around. Well, the rest of the staff will, as you can understand. I'm kind of banned from I'm into shenanigans. I like getting into trouble. I like doing, funny kind of things. And, well, I acquired their security guards' golf cart kind of thing that runs around, you know what I mean. Anyway, yeah. I drove it for, well, how many kilometres is it from Matamata to Rotorua?
Oh, look, that took you a day.
Easily a day. Easily a day. We drove this thing, and well, I got a friend of mine who's a helicopter pilot. I can fly rotor. I am a pilot myself, but he was flying on the day, and he says, you know, Grant, there's only one thing for this. And I went, what's that? And he goes, dump it. So we dumped it. It's in the middle of the lake. It is. If you want it back,
It's still there today.
go fishing. Go get your hook, your line, your sinker. Go pull it up. It's right there. And maybe once you do, you might be able to give me, you know, at least 5 years off that 20-year sentence. What do you reckon?
Yeah.
Believe me. But yeah, I'm that type of guy. I've got to be honest with you. If you're going to come to New Zealand, you're going to hook up with me. I'm totally into shenanigans. All I can say is bail money.
All right. Deal. We'll do it.
Make sure you got a bit of pocket money in your back pocket because it might cost us a little bit to get out. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm used to that with Janice anyway. She's had a few golf cart episodes herself. So,
Brilliant. And you know, Terry, whoever's been telling you these stories on the money, they are totally on the money. And I have an idea. I know who it is. I'm pretty sure I know who it is. And wait until I see him next. Believe me, that's funny. That really, really is. But Terry, again, gotta say thank you so much for coming along. Looking forward to catching up with you very, very shortly. Got to ask you one more question. Is it too late in the year to say Happy New Year?
no, it's never too late. And Happy New Year to you.
Brilliant. Absolutely stunning. Don't go anywhere, Terry. We'll be right with you. But right now, let's change the studio. We'll go back to Studio B. And here's the Maisonettes, Heartache Avenue, right here at Galaxy.